Good afternoon, students. Okay, today's our class topic is Unit 5 Graphs. Okay, already we covered the 4 units. Okay. The first unit is with the normal data structures like linked lists or arrays based data structures. Okay, then we covered the linked list and then linked list based different types of operations we have performed. And then in the unit 4, you have seen how to create the trees and how to work with the trees. Okay. So as an extension to that trees, okay, we are going to the next unit is the unit 5. Okay, the unit 5 covers the topic is the graphs. Okay, we'll see the graph is nothing but is a combination of the different points. Like say for example, if you are place the 4 points on a paper and you are joining that 4 points with the lines, okay, then it comes as a graph. Okay. That is the points may be at anywhere on the paper. Okay. If you are joining that all the 4 points with the lines, okay, then it forms as a graph. So graph doesn't has any particular structure. Okay. So it may be in the different shapes and it may be in the different ways. Okay, but its tree is not like a graph. Okay, tree has a particular structure like a hierarchical structure. It has, okay, it starts with the 1 point and extends to the number of points. Okay, so that is the basic difference between the tree and graph. Okay, but actually the working and the what you are doing with the different types of operations, okay, those all are the similar for graphs and trees. Okay, we have some special algorithms and some special ways to traverse through the graph. Okay, apart from that, basic methodology is similar to the tree. Okay, so I will start with our topic of today. So the outcome of this today's class is, okay, you can understand how to represent a graph and how to perform the basic operations on the graphs. Okay, so I will see for today's class, we will see the representation of the graph and basic operations on the graph. Okay. Okay, first we'll see what is mean by the graph. Okay. So here the graph is nothing but a collection of edges and so a graph is nothing but a collection of nodes, that is vertices, and the set of edges. Okay, here the vertices is nothing but the points in the graph, that is joining points of the graph, and edges are nothing but the lines which joins these points. Okay, so if you have the 2 points on your paper and if you are joining the 2 points with a particular line, then the 2 points are called as the nodes, and the joining line between the 2 points is called as the edge. Okay, and the set of edges is the describes the relationship between the vertices also. Okay, say for example, if you are specified the 2 dots on that paper, and if you are joining the 2 dots like first dot to second dot, you are drawn the one line. Okay, that is nothing but first dot is communicating with the second dot. Say if you are drawn the a line with the arrow symbol. Okay, that is a line passing from first dot to second dot. If you are drawn like a one arrow, okay, then it says the relationship is first point is moving to the second point in the direction of first point to second point. If you are drawing the opposite line, the like you are drawing the two arrow symbols, that is two sides arrow symbol. Okay, then you can say that first point to second point is interacting, and second point is also communicating with the first point. Okay, both has the equal relationship and equal significance. Okay, so like this you can specify the edges, okay, to specify the relationships. Okay, if you are drawing a line from the same point to the again to the same point, okay, then it specifies that, okay, there is no other moving to the another points. Okay, the same point is moving itself in the circular directions. Okay, so these graphs are generally used in the real-time applications is, okay, whenever you are framing a route map, okay, like say for example, if you want to go from one place to another place, then you need to draw the route map. Okay, that route map you can draw with the help of graphs. But without knowing the graphs, we will draw the route map. But that route map is actually called as a graph. Okay, in the route map, whatever the cities you are placing, those cities are the nodes, and the joining lines between the cities are the edges. Okay, that is the one example. And the other example is network structure. Okay, that is generally or at present you are using a different types of networks like wide area network, LAN area, local area networks, okay, and wireless networks, mobile networks. Okay, you are using different types of networks at present. Like whenever you are using the internet, that is the wireless network. If you are using a local network like cable TV network or something like a network within the college, okay, those all are the local area networks. Okay, these all networks are framed using a graphs. Okay, systems or computers are the nodes, and the lines between, that is the wire connections between the computer to computer is the edge. Okay, so not only these two, okay, whenever you are working with the social media, okay, then there is also will use the graphs. Like if you are using a Facebook, Twitter, or Instagrams, or WhatsApp, YouTube, okay, in all these they use the graphs. Okay, why? Because to find the connections between the one pupil to the another pupil, or one post, how it is delivered from the one place to another place. Okay, say for example, if you are posting a message from a one user to another user. Okay, if a web social media person wants to know that, okay, from where this message is posted actually, okay, that is which person initially posted this message, okay, that they can learn, they can know with the help of a graphs. Okay, by knowing the connections between the one person to another persons, they can find out the this origin of the message. Okay, so there is the number of users with the graphs in the real-time applications. Okay, okay, just I'm giving these all examples is for the sake of to prepare you to get a more interest with the graphs topic. Okay, so whenever we are representing this graph, we will be represent with the letter G, and vertices with the V, and edges with the E letter. Okay, so V of G is called as vertices of the graph. Okay, is a finite and it should not be non-empty set of vertices. Okay, that is nothing but, okay, if a graph is there, then at least you should have the one vertex. Okay, without the vertices, you should not have any graph. Okay, because if you have the point on the paper, then only you can draw any line. At least you have the one point, you can draw at least circular lines for that point. But without having any point on the paper, you are not able to draw any line. Okay, so that vertex must be there. At least one vertex must be there. It must be a finite vertices. Okay, like 3 vertices, 4 vertices, or 10 vertices, like that. Okay, it should be a finite number. And edges is a set of pair of edges. Okay, pair of edges can be given. Okay, these edges depends on the vertices. Okay, the number of ways you can join the vertices is the edges. Okay, so a graph can have 0 edges. Okay, because you can draw only the dots. Okay, that is called as an empty graph. Okay, with only dots is there, that is there is only vertices, there is no edges, then that is called as the empty graph. Okay, so that is also a graph, but empty graph. Okay, but we cannot call a graph without having even vertices also. Okay, next, examples of the graphs. Okay, so whenever we are writing a mathematically the vertices and edges, you can write like this: V equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that is nothing but I have 5 vertices in the graph. So those vertices are 0, 1, 2, 3. That is, they are the 5 vertices with the values 0, 1, 2, 3. And I have a set of edges. Okay, within the curly brackets, we'll mention the set of edges. Okay, the edges are from 0 to 1, there is a 1 edge, 1 to 2, there is a edge, 0 to 3, there is a edge, 3 to 0, 2 to 2, and 4 to 3. Okay, these are the different edges I have in the graph. Okay, this is the notation that we generally use within the mathematics. Okay, the mathematics will represent the vertices and edges like this. Okay, so you can observe this graph. This is manually whenever you are drawing a graph on a
Madam,
paper.
ఒక doubt.
Okay, then you can draw the graph. Okay, so by having these two, that is vertices and edges, you can draw the graph, or you can draw the graph, then you can write the vertices and edges. Okay, so this is the one of the example for the graph. Okay, next, now we'll see types of graphs. Okay, so there are the different types of graphs. Okay, one of the two different types of graphs is directed versus undirected graphs. So directed is nothing but there is a direction on the edge of the graph. That is, whatever the lines you are representing in the graph, those lines are represented with the arrow symbol. Then that is the directed graph. Okay, all the edges must have the directions. Then only it form as a directed graph. Okay, if some lines are given as the directions and some lines are without directions, that is not allowed. Okay, all the edges of the graph must be have a direction. So then only it is called as a directed graph. And undirected graph is the graph without any direction on the edge. Okay, there is no particular direction on the edge, then it is called as a undirected graph. Okay, so there is a basic difference is the directed graph specifies the only particular direction and particular way to reach from the one point to the another point. Okay, there is only one possibility to reach from the one point to another point in the directed graphs. But in the undirected graphs, you may have the multiple possibilities. Okay. Like say for example, see here, U, V are the two vertices. I have an edge between these two vertices is the undirected edge. Okay, now you can reach from the U to V, or you can move from the V to U. Okay, or you can move from the any another way you can choose. But here in the one directed edge, you can only move from the U to V. There is no movement from the V to U. Okay. So there is only one possibility, but here we have multiple possibilities. Okay. So in these directed and undirected graphs, we have the undirected edges has no orientation, no arrow. Directed edges has the arrow. Undirected graph, all edges are undirected, and directed graph, all edges must be directed. Okay. Next. Okay, this is another type of a graph which will call it as the weighted graph. Okay, weighted graph is nothing but without having only the edge, I'm giving a weight for the edge. Okay. So generally in these graphs, like previous graph, if you are giving like this, the just only the edge, okay, will be assumed that the weight of this edge as the 1. By default, the weight of the edge is 1. Okay, but without that, I want to specify the particularly the difference between the one edge to the another edge. Okay, okay, like this. Okay, there are the different places in a some country. Okay, the places are Austin, Dallas, Washington, Atlanta, Houston, Denver. There is some more place here. Okay, so assume that these are the distances. Okay, 1300, 780, 200, 1000, 900. These all are the distances. Okay, now from Austin to Dallas, the distance is 200 kilometers, and from Dallas to Austin is also 200 kilometers. Okay, that is if there is a the same way that you are using for to return from the Dallas to Austin, then you have the same distance. Okay, So Washington to Dallas is a 1300 kilometers. But what is the distance between Dallas to Washington? Can you say anyone? What is the distance between Dallas to Washington? Any one distance? Okay, there is a distance is from Washington to Dallas is 1300. What is the return distance? Dallas to Washington.
So,
That way. Is all of you has the same problem?
same distance.
Screen is not viewable. Can anyone respond? Are you able to see my screen or not? Okay, someone unmute your speaker and respond. Yes, ma'am is nothing but visible. Okay. Someone are saying visible. You okay, sure? What is the problem with you? Are you not able to see any of my screens from the starting to present? So, okay, tell me the answer. What is the distance between Dallas to Washington? Can anyone guess? Okay, there is no return path from Dallas to Washington. You have only path from the Washington to Dallas, but you're not able to return from Dallas to Washington directly. So you have the path is you can come from the Dallas to Denver, then Denver to Atlanta, then to the Washington. Then the total distance is 780 plus 1400, that is 2100 plus 600. So 2780. So the distance between the Dallas to Washington, one way is this. There is other ways also there. Dallas to Austin, Austin to Houston, Houston to Atlanta, Atlanta to Washington. There is also another distance, another path. That one path is this one. Dallas to Denver, Denver to Atlanta, Atlanta to Washington. Okay, this path distance is 2780. Okay. So like this you might have the different distances. Okay, say if you are not giving using a weighted edge, okay, then you are not able to say what is the cost, what is the distance, or what is the time it takes from one place to another place. So generally whenever you are representing a route maps, so we'll use the weighted graphs, and the edge is represented with the either distance or the time or distance. Okay, so this is one of the example for the weighted graphs. Next we'll move to the next screen. Okay, these are the two examples of the weighted and unweighted graphs. Okay, so here directed and undirected graphs. So directed graph with all the edges are with the directions, and undirected graph with all the edges without any directions. Okay. Next. So I will see the some of the words that we generally use within the graphs. Graph terminology. The first one is adjacent nodes. Okay, this word generally will use to specify the what are the nodes which are neighbor to the current node. Okay, like say for example, you want to find out the neighbor places or neighbor persons. Okay, then we'll generally neighbor persons is nothing but whatever the persons which are nearby to us. Okay, those we'll call them as the neighbors. Okay, with a very small distance. Okay. So from our house we have a sum of a 4 or 5 neighbors that is immediately to our house. That is at the left of our house or right of our house, or at the back of our house or front of our house. we have the some 4 or 5 neighbors. Okay, those only will call them as generally neighbors. Okay, so the neighbors can be find out with the help of adjacents. Okay, so 5 node is adjacent to the 7 node. Okay, but whenever you are using a directed edges or undirected edges, okay, we have only one adjacent. Okay, reverse we don't have any adjacent. Okay, next another one is path. Okay, path is nothing but the number of vertices you are traversing to reach from the one place to another place. Say for example, you have the different paths to reach from one place to another place. Say if you want to start from the Guntur and you want to reach to the Vijayawada. Okay, so you may have the different ways. Okay, one way is you can go through the Mangalgiri, or you may go in the another direction or another way. Okay, who is that? Is there any problem? Okay. So that path, that is the number of places you are covering to reach from one place to another place. Okay, that we'll call it as the path. Okay. And simple path is nothing but which covers all the vertices from the last to the ending. Okay, that is whatever the vertices that we have in the that graph. Okay, if you are covering all the vertices and you are reaching to your required destination, then that is called as a simple path. Another terminology is the complete graph. Okay, this is also another type of a graph. Okay, so in which the every vertex is directly connected to the other vertices of the graph. Okay, say for example, if there are the 3 vertices in the graph and all the 3 vertices are connected, directly connected to the other vertices. Okay, there is a direct edge from the each vertex to the all other vertices. Okay, that is from the first vertex to the second and third, and second vertex to the third and one, and third vertex to the 1 and 2. Okay, if all the vertices are connected with the all other vertices, okay, then we will call that as a complete graph. Okay, next, so cycle. Okay, this is the word generally we'll use whenever a path starts at a one particular place and ends to the at the same place, then we'll call it as a cycle. Okay, say for example, if this is like you are started from the one vertex. Okay, see in this example graph, you are started from the one vertex and move to the 2 and then to the 5, then to the 7, then to the 6, then to the 4, again to the 1. Okay, this is formed as a cycle. That is, you are started at the 1, again you are ended at the 1 vertex. Okay, then that is called as a cycle. Okay, and next is the degree of vertex. So this is called as the number of edges incident on the vertex. That is the number of vertices, the number of edges that is coming out of the particular vertex or coming into the vertex is called as a degree. Okay. So generally for the undirected graphs, we only consider the number of edges for the particular vertex is as the degree. Okay, but if it is a directed graph, we have the 2 degrees. One is the in degree and another one is the out degree. Okay, for undirected graphs we have only 1 degree value. Okay, for the 2 vertex there are the 2 edges. One is to the 1 vertex and another one is to the 5. So this is the degree of 2 vertexes 2. Okay, 3 vertex degree is only 1 edge is there. So degree of 3 is the 1 and degree of 7 is 2. Okay, 2 edges from the 7 to 6 and 7 to 5. Okay, this we will call it as the degree. Okay, next, we generally use these type of words like graph is a connected or not, whether the graph is strongly connected or whether the graph is weakly connected. or whether the graph is a complete graph or not. So connected is nothing but the connected graph is nothing but the graph with all the vertices are connected to the graph. Okay, no other vertex which is left without any connection. Okay, so if there is any vertex which is not having any edge from the other vertices, then the graph is called as a disconnected graph. And directed graphs are strongly connected graphs. Okay, that is, there is only one particular connection from the one vertex to another vertex. And directed graphs, some graphs, directed graphs are deeply connected. Okay, so they are without having a particular direction or without having any particular path to reach a particular vertex. Okay, say for example, if you have the two vertices A and B, and you have a direction from the A to B, but there is no direction from the B to A. That is, you can move from the A to B, but you are not able to move from the B to somewhere else. Then that is called as a weakly connected graphs. And a complete graph, so there is an edge between the every pair of vertices. There must be a connection between the every pair of vertices. Okay, if you had any doubts, respond in the chat box. Next, some of our terminology is like loops. Okay, so that is, if a vertex is connected to itself, is called as a loop. Okay, path, we already know, simple path. Multiple edges. Okay, if the two nodes are connecting with each other with a number of edges, okay, then it is called as the path. Switch. Okay. So there are some simple graphs, okay, which does not have any loops between the edges. Okay. Okay. So I will say how to count the number of edges in a directed graph. Okay. So that is, there are the number of possible pairs in a particular directed graph is, we can find out with the help of n into n minus 1. Okay, that is, n is the number of vertices. Okay, so that you can multiply with the n value to the n minus 1 value, then you can find out the maximum possible edges within a particular graph. Okay, this is the maximum possible edges. It's not exactly the edges. Maximum possible edges you can draw in the graph is with the n into n minus 1. Okay, say if you have any particular edge like u to v is not same as the v to u, okay, then the directed graph can find with the edges is n into n minus 1. Okay, generally it's a less than or equals to n into n minus 1, okay, not equals, not greater than. Okay, number of edges must be less than the n into n minus 1. Okay, so degree of the vertex. Okay, in the directed graphs, degree of the vertex is nothing but we have two degrees. One is the in degree. The edges which are reaching to the particular vertex are the in degree, and out degree is the edges which are coming out of a vertex is the out degree. Okay, so the in degree of a two vertex is the 1. Okay, because there is a one edge is coming from the 1 to the 2 vertex, and out degree vertex, out degree of a 2 is 1. Okay, there is a one edge coming from the 2 to the 5, and for the 5 is also same. In degree is the 1, out degree is the 1. For the 7, the in degree is the 2. There is no out degree for the 7. That is, you can reach to the 7, but you are not go out of a 7. Okay. And for the 3, there is in degree is the 1. There is no out degree. Okay. So like this, you have the in degree and out degree for the graphs, vertices in a directed graph. Next, we'll go for the graph representation. Okay. So up to now, we have seen the basic introduction of the graphs. So different types of the graphs and different types of the edges, and what is mean by the degree of the graph. Okay, that we have seen up to now. Now we'll see how to represent these graphs into the program that are in our computers. Okay, so if you are drawing on the paper, you can directly draw the vertices as the circles, and you can join the vertices with the lines. But whenever you are representing those vertices and edges in a system, then we need to be have a one particular way to represent these graphs into the system. Okay. So for that, we'll use two methods. One is the adjacency matrix representation, another one adjacency list representation. Okay, one is you can represent like a matrix, another one you can represent like a list. First, we'll see adjacency matrix. Adjacency matrix, generally we know that matrix is nothing but it is a combination of rows and columns. Okay, so the set of rows and columns which form as a matrix like a table. Okay, a square table. Okay. Okay, say for example, if a graph is having a n vertices, then we have the n by n adjacency matrix. That is n rows, n columns adjacency matrix. Okay, so and whenever you are representing a value in this matrix, okay, then we need to check that whether the each and every pair of vertices has the edge or not. Okay, has the edge or not, direct edge. That is a direct edge is nothing but there is a connection between the two vertices or not, that we need to be checked. Okay, so then only we can represent that particular place as a 1 or as the 0. So 1 is nothing but true, 0 is nothing but false. Okay, so if a vertex is connected to the B vertex, then we can place the A row B column value as the 1. Okay, if A vertex is connected to the C vertex, then we will write the 1 at the A row C column as the 1. Okay, so the first vertex and second vertex. First vertex is the row, second vertex is the column. Okay, in the first vertex row and second vertex column, at that particular cell, we will mention the either 0 or 1. If there is a edge, we'll write the 1, otherwise 0. Okay, then that forms as a adjacency matrix. Okay, like this. Okay, a simple example with the directed graph. So there is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 0 are the vertices. Okay, so all this is a form one graph. The complete this 5 vertices is the one graph. So we mentioned the matrix like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Okay, so 5 rows and 5 columns. Okay, so with the combination of these 5 rows and 5 columns, we need to make a adjacency matrix. Now we'll start from the, so first row is the 0, that is first row is the 0, column is the 0. So for this first row, we need to mention all the adjacents between the 0 to the remaining all vertices. The first row represents the all the adjacents or all the edges which pass from the 0 to the remaining all vertices. And one vertex row mentions the one vertex adjacents. That is, from the one vertex, what are the connections are there between the other edges, other vertices, that we can represent for the one vertex. Okay, and for the two vertex, the adjacents of the two vertex are represented in the two vertex row. Okay, So now we'll first check with the 0 vertex. 0 vertex, it doesn't has any, 0 vertex to 2 vertex we have a line, but it's just slightly moved to other direction, but there is a line between the 0 to 2. Okay. So 0 to 0, there is no loop between the 0 to 0 cycle or loop, so false. 0 to 1, 0 vertex to 1 vertex, there is no edge, so false. 0 vertex to 2 vertex, there is a edge, so true. 0 vertex to 3 vertex, there is no edge, so false. 0 vertex to 4 vertex, there is no edge, so false. So for whatever the vertices it has the edge, only for that you can write a true. Remaining all are the false. Okay. So like this we can fill all the rows of the matrix. Next. Next we'll see the adjacency matrix with the undirected graph. Okay. So undirected graph, whenever you are representing the undirected graphs, we need to write the edge for the 1 to 2 and 2 to 1. That is I to j and j to I also. So in both the directions we have the edge, so that we need to represent one at the two places. Okay. So same here we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertices in the rows. So one vertex has the edge to the 2, one vertex has the edge to the 4, one vertex has the edge to the 3. So one has three adjacents, 2, 4, 3, three adjacents. So I'll represent like this. 1 to 1 there is no edge, so 0. 1 to 2 there is a edge 1. 1 to 3 there is a edge 1. 1 to 4 there is a edge 1. 1 to 5 there is no edge, so 0. Okay. As in the same way, again we need to represent 2 to 1 is also as a 1. 3 to 1 is also as a 1. 4 to 1 is also as the 1. Okay. So these three also we need to represent. 3 to 2 to 1, 3 to 1, 4 to 1. Okay. So like this we will fill the undirected graph. Undirected graph, we have the two possibilities for the each and every edge. Okay. So both we need to represent. Okay. Is this adjacency matrix is able to understand? Okay, because for any of the type of operations of the graphs, we need to know the adjacency matrix. Okay. Next, another example. Okay, the directed graph. Okay. Okay, the adjacency matrix for this. One has two adjacents, 2 and 3. So at the 2 and 3 we have the ones. Another adjacent is the 5. So at the 5 is also there is a 1. Two vertex has adjacents are 4, 5 and 3. So 2 vertex has adjacents to 3, 4, 5. These three are mentioned as the ones. 3 vertex has only one adjacent, that is the 4. Because from the 3 you have a only edge to the 4. But remaining all the three edges are from the other vertices to the 3 vertex. But from the 3 you have the only one edge. So 4 is called as the adjacent for the 3. Okay. So 3 has the one adjacent is 4. 4 vertex it doesn't has any adjacents. Because 4 vertex it doesn't has out degree. Okay. Out degree is 0 for the 4. So no adjacents. And 5 vertex has adjacent to the 3 and 4. 5 vertex has two adjacents, one is the 3 and one is the 4. So 1 for the 3 and 1 for the 4. Okay. There is another example, adjacency matrix for the directed multigraphs. Okay, multiple paths we have here. 2 to 2 there is a edge, 3 to 3 there is a edge. Okay. And here we have 3 to 3, we have two edges. 3 to 3, two edges. And 3 to 2, one edge. Okay. So whenever you are representing like this, we need to mention more than one time the same two pairs of a graphs as the edges. That is 1 to 2. Here we have 3 edges, so we'll mention the 3 here. 1 to 2 there is a 3 edges, so 3. Okay, as the same way 2 to 3 there are the 2 edges, so 2 to 3 there are the 2 edges, so 2. Okay, so like this. 3 to 3, 3 to 3 it has the 2 edges. Okay, so we can mention the 3 to 3 as the 2 edges. Okay, 2 to 2 has the 1 edge, so 2 to 2 has the 1 edge. Okay, like this we will mention the multiple edges. Okay, so in that cases we'll mention that number of edges. Okay, if we have the 3 edges we'll mention the 3, if it is has the 2 edges we'll mention the 2. Okay, okay, next for directed graphs, this is the undirected graph, sorry. So this is the weighted graph. Okay, for each and every edge we have the weights. It's not a directed, it's an undirected graph, but each and every edge is having a weight. So in case of weighted graph, okay, we need to be represent the weight of the edge in the place of the edge value. That is in place of the 1, we will mention the weight of the edge. Okay, say there is a to B, there is a edge A to B, the edge cost is, the edge weight is 3. So I'll mention the 3 without representing the 1 or 2. I will give the weight. Okay, if there is no edge between the particular two vertices, then we'll mention in the infinity. Okay, we cannot write as a 0. Okay, we didn't write as a 0, we'll mention as the infinity. A to D there is no edge, so that infinity. Okay, so and A to E also there is no edge, so infinity. Okay, so self vertices A to A, B to B, C to C, D to D. Okay, those are given as the zeros. Okay, because there may be have the edge or there may not be have the edge, but the edge weight is 0 only. Okay, so that will mention the self vertices as the 0, and remaining all whatever the edges which has the connection between the two vertices, for that will mention the edge weight. Okay, next we'll see the adjacency list representation. Okay, so this is similar to the adjacency graph, adjacency matrix. Okay, here we'll represent in the form of a linked list. Okay, we'll use the linked list for representing of the list adjacency vertices. Okay, so whatever the graph which has the different adjacencies for the each and every vertex, those are represented as the different lists, different linked lists. Okay. Okay, say for example, this is the graph with the 4 vertices 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1 to 2 there is a 1 edge, 2 to 3 there is a 1 edge, 1 to 3 there is a edge, 3 to 4, sorry, 4 to 3 there is a edge. So that you can represent as, we'll create a linked list, that is for each vertex we'll create a one linked list. There is a linked list for the one vertex, there is a one linked list for the two vertex, there is a one linked list with the 4 vertex, and there is for the 3 vertex. Adjacent of 1 is 2 and 3. Adjacent of 2 is 3. Adjacent of 3 is there is no adjacent, so null linked list. Adjacent of 4 is 3. Okay, will be represent like this adjacency list. Okay, one second, like this. Okay, for the one vertex there is a one linked list is connected to that. Okay, each adjacent vertex is written as a node. Okay, for 2 vertex there is a one adjacent vertex, so one node in the linked list. 3 vertex has the one adjacent node, so one node in the linked list. Okay, like this we can represent the adjacency list. Okay, there is a different linked list for the different vertices. Okay, but general use of a representation of the graphs is adjacency matrix. Okay, because this is an easy way to access the elements. Okay, okay, this is somewhat typically difficult. Okay, so that generally it is not preferred adjacency list. but it takes adjacency list takes a very less space compared to the adjacency matrix, because in the adjacency list we need not to represent the zeros. Okay, whatever the edge, whatever the vertices which doesn't have the edges, okay, those we need not to be represented. Okay, but in the adjacency matrix we need to represent all other values as the zeros or infinities. Next, implementation of the graphs. So implementation of the graphs is whenever you are implementing the graph, we need to be perform the different types of operations on the graphs. Like we need to be add the edge, we need to be add the vertex, we need to be add the delete the edges, delete the vertices, and traverse the graphs, and find the any particular vertex. Like this, we need to perform the different operations on the graphs. Okay. So we will see those implementation operations on the graphs. Okay, elementary operations on the graphs. Okay, the different operations are inserting a vertex, that is adding a new vertex in the graph, and deleting a vertex, delete the existent vertex from the graph, add an edge to the graph. Okay, add a one edge between the two vertices of the graph, delete an edge from the graph. Okay, delete the already existing edge from the graph, find a vertex, check whether a particular vertex is available in the graph or not, and traverse the graph, that is display the graph. Okay, except the traverse the graph, we'll see the remaining 5 operations. Okay, because traversing the graph is it's a separate topic, we have a different methods to traverse the graph. Okay. First, this is the inserting of a vertex. Okay, say for example there is a already graph with the 3 vertices A, B, C, and you want to add a new vertex as E. Okay, so whenever you join these two, okay, then you form a graph as like this: A, B, C, E. Okay, so right side we had added the E vertex to the graph. Okay, how we can represent this in the our adjacency matrix? Okay, in the adjacency matrix we need to create a one new row and a new column. Okay, E is added as a 4th row and 4th column, and all the values are given as a 0, because there is no edge between the E to the other vertices. So we'll give the all the zeros for the E vertex. So whenever you want to specify that a vertex is inserted to the graph, you need to add a one new row and new column into the adjacency matrix. Okay, then it is treated as the one new vertex is added to the graph. Okay, and delete the vertex. So this is deletion is nothing but, okay, there is a vertex in the graph, like A, B, C is the graph, and with E as the another vertex, and E vertex has the 2 edges, one is to the B and one is to the C. Okay, so whenever you delete the vertex, okay, you will be delete that particular vertex, and also you delete the all the edges which are having a between E vertex to the other vertices. Okay, we'll delete all the edges connected to the vertex to the other vertices. Okay, so then we will become a graph as like this: A, B, C. E vertex is deleted. So in the adjacency matrix, we will delete all the complete row and column of the E vertex. Okay, then it will be treated that the vertex is deleted from the graph. Next, insert an edge. Okay, inserting a edge is nothing but just in the graph, we will draw a new line between the two vertices, and in the adjacency matrix we'll just place a 1 at the edge is added. A to E, there is a edge added, so give the 1 value to the A to E. A to E. Okay. Next, edge deletion is just make the 0. Okay, so here we have a edge between the B to E, and that is deleted in the graph, so it becomes a 0. Okay, next, find the vertex. Okay, I want to check whether the vertex is available or not. Okay, we'll check one by one vertex in the graph and we'll find a particular vertex. Okay, Yes, this is just it shows the whether the vertex is there or not, true or false. Traversing is displaying of the graph. It has a two algorithms, two methods, depth first search and breadth first search. Okay, using these two methods we can traverse the graph. Okay. Okay. So this is the end of our today's class. Okay. And I want to ask some questions you. Okay, how many are there? 62. Okay. So whatever the questions I will be asked, respond in the chat box. Okay. So what is mean by a complete graph? What is mean by a complete graph? Fast respond in the chat box. Okay, don't write paragraphs. Just give in a single simple sentence. What is mean by a complete graph? No responses.